Okay, so today wanted to take an opportunity to kind of introduce Springdel and its platform Springmatic and its use of hybrid cloud. So when we talk about hybrid cloud, there's a lot of advantages associated with it. It essentially lets you scale and use cloud technologies, but in a way where you're still in control. So what we're offering at Springmatic, at the end of the day, we're a UEM platform, so we're an endpoint or device management platform. But even though our platform is device management as a software as a service or SaaS kind of platform, meaning that everything is hosted in the cloud in terms of the management suite, we still allow users and end customers to have devices or file shares, application shares, whereby you're still leveraging your own on-prem or your own cloud-hosted solutions. So what we're going to look at is how we set this up and what some of the advantages are. On our website, we do talk a lot about a few of the advantages that you might enjoy. One is, first, it puts you more in control of your data, more in control of the applications that you deploy, or maybe you have things that just can't be exposed to the World Wide Web. You just can't have things that are exposed like on an internet base. You have things that are for LAN only, these kinds of applications. Well, we can enable as well. The other reason that you might want to explore this kind of hybrid cloud idea or on-prem hosting is that if you say have a few hundred or a few thousand devices in your office building, if you're having these devices get things like large app updates, large file transfers, but they're all doing it off of your broadband network, one, that might mean that you need to invest in substantially higher data transmission bills. You need to have like a faster internet connection before you can actually take down that stuff. But if everything's locally hosted, at these days, gigabit Ethernet is pretty much everywhere. It's universal. And even though your devices are accessing things from a wireless side, the storage or the server where you're hosting all of that, that probably has like a physical connection. And then if you have even like higher end storage, maybe you have things like 10 gigabit or even maybe up to 100 gigabit Ethernet for your storage server, which is good if you have, say, thousands of devices trying to read and install that file. And there's no way like there's a broadband provider out there that has like 100 gigabit Ethernet. So let's look at how we actually do this in Springmatic. So when we go to the file management, we have the ability to upload applications, files, certificates, kiosk files. When we're uploading an APK or if we're uploading a file, you have essentially three options with the Springmatic platform. You can upload to our cloud, which is perfectly fine. And again, like your data is still protected. But this becomes something which then is exposed to your account. But it does it over the internet, again, because we're here in a cloud-based platform. If we were wanted to do this like your own cloud, like maybe you have HTTPS your company file location, or maybe it's yourcompany.com/file name, like we would also be able to work with that. This would be if the file is exposed over the internet. If you're behind what they call like a double NAT or an isolated network, you can also tick this box, which then allows you the LAN access only. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show how we can deploy a file, and we'll show it working on one of our devices. But first, what I'm going to do is go to a local service. So this is a service which is running on my private network. It doesn't have to be this particular service. You can have any kind of web hosting or HTTP, HTTPS host that you want. For my purpose, what I have here on my local network is a min.io, which is like on-prem object storage. Okay, and this right here in min.io, we have a bucket. So this is our file hosting bucket. The access to the bucket is set to public, which means I can share the files with other platforms. So I can just upload a new file. So I'm just going to pick this one file right here. Okay. So now this is available. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this file. Okay. And then we're just going to take this first part. In min.io, when you share the file, it kind of assumes it's private. So they tack on like this additional metadata so that it's only available for like 7 days or 5 days or like however you have it. But because this bucket is set to a public bucket, we just need to take the first part of this. So this is just the file link. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back. We're going to first add this to our system. So it's a file, it's not an application. So we're going to add the link. Now here what's important is this is the local host because I was accessing min.io as local host. But what I actually need to do is put in the IP address of my server. Okay, so I have this. This is what the managed device or the tablet that's connected is going to be able to access and read from. We're going to say this is a LAN only because it is. It's not exposed to the internet in any way. Like you can't access this file because you're not on my network. And we'll see in a minute like how that looks in our platform. We're going to add it. Okay, we get this notification that says applications and files residing on personal LAN will not display certain values. Now this is key because our platform does not have access to this file. We can't parse or like take out any metadata about the file in any way. So you can rest assured that the file is definitely private and we're definitely not reading anything. And you'll see that how that looks in just a sec. Okay, so we sent the link to the server. Now we'll verify that the file link is there. This is the file that I just added. See, we have it here. We have no other data about the link, but we have it right over here. Now we'll go to our profile. This is my testing profile, so I try to make it as hard to use as possible, which is why it's called evil profile. But we're going to add a file sync. We're going to put this under pictures. And this is the device folder name, so this is the folder that this file will go to. We're just going to drag and drop the file over here. Okay. Now we're going to publish it. We're going to publish the change. Just going to publish this fleet. Okay. And now once that's published, we have this file sync. It's going to go to pictures. This is the file that I want to publish. Okay. And now, again, locally hosted only from my local internet. We're going to verify on the device that this works. So this is going to use the remote control feature that we have just to verify. Okay, so now we're in here. Go to my files. I may need to check in. Let's see if it got it. So right now we just have one of those screenshots. Internal storage. Pictures. And there it is. That's the file. Okay, so that's the file that we just uploaded. So this got pushed via our console. And again, this device is on the local network, so this device has access to the file. Springmatic does not have access to the file. I can also show, just to sort of like break down this point a little bit further. If we look at applications, some of the applications we have are hosted in Springmatic, and you'll see we'll have like some metadata of like, okay, this is the first version of it. We know the size of it. But files that are hosted from a local storage, and we can also push and install these applications, you'll see like, oh, well, we don't know the version. Well, obviously, because we don't have access to the version. Okay, so your devices on your network have access to your files on your network. It has access to your applications on your network. We do not have that access, but we can still allow for the management and provisioning of it, so that the only data that like you're transacting with Springmatic is the ability to manage your devices. It's not the us managing your files. And again, there's a lot of advantages for that. We talk about that in the website. And if there's ever any questions, please feel free to reach out to Springdel. Happy to have your questions. Thank you very much.